We are all facing the global phenomenon of climate change, especially in the United States. In this video, we will explore how climate change is directly impacting the lives of people, and how the government is taking steps to improve and mitigate the effects of climate change. First, it is greenhouse gas emissions. The United States produced 5.2 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalent greenhouse gas (GHG) emissions in 2020, the second largest in the world after greenhouse gas emissions by China, and among the countries with the highest greenhouse gas emissions per person. In 2019, China is estimated to have emitted 27% of world GHG, followed by the United States with 11%, then India with 6.6%. In total, the United States has emitted a quarter of world GHG, more than any other country. Annual emissions are over 15 tons per person, and amongst the top 8 emitters is the highest country by greenhouse gas emissions per person. However, the IEA estimates that the richest decile in the U.S. emits over 55 tons of CO2 per capita each year, because coal-fired power stations are gradually shutting down. In the 2010s, emissions from electricity generation fell to second place behind transportation, which is now the largest single source. In 2020, 27% of the GHG emissions of the United States were from transportation, 25% from electricity, 24% from industry, 13% from commercial and residential buildings, and 11% from agriculture. In 2021, the electric power sector was the second largest source of U.S. greenhouse gas emissions, accounting for 25% of the U.S. total. These greenhouse gas emissions are contributing to climate change in the United States, as well as worldwide. Next is the impact on the natural environment, temperature, and weather change. Human-induced climate change has the potential to alter the prevalence and severity of extreme weather events such as heat waves, cold waves, storms, floods, and droughts. A 2012 Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change (IPCC) report confirmed that a strong body of evidence links global warming to an increase in heat waves, a rise in episodes of heavy rainfall and other precipitation, and more frequent coastal flooding. March 2020 placed second to 2016 for being the second hottest March on record, with an average of 2.9 Fahrenheit 1.16 Celsius above that of the 20th century. Extreme weather events: 1. Heat waves. 2. Droughts. 3. Megafloods. 4. Weakened polar vortex jet stream. Sea level rise. Sea level rise has taken place in the U.S. for decades. Going back to the 19th century, 40% of the U.S. population live near a coast and are vulnerable to sea level rise for almost all coastal areas of the U.S., except for Alaska. The future rise in sea level is expected to be higher than the global average, and OEA's global and regional sea level rise scenarios said in February 2022 that relative sea level along the contiguous U.S. coastline is expected to rise on average as much over the next 30 years 25 to 30 centimeters 9.8 to 11.8 and as it has over the preceding 100 years. Agriculture and food security. The fifth National Climate Assessment states that climate change impacts communities over all the territory of the United States. The impacts differ from state to state. The human and economic toll is high. Scientists now can say with relatively high confidence how much climate change impacted a specific meteorological event. The impacts mentioned in the report include increase in frequency and magnitude of heat waves, droughts, floods, hurricanes, and more. Therefore, the government has developed plans to reduce carbon emissions and has issued policies, laws, and legal actions by states and regions. In 2003, New York State proposed and attained commitments from 9 Northeast states to form a cap-and-trade carbon dioxide emissions program for power generators, called the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative (RGGI). This program launched on January 1, 2009, with the aim to reduce the carbon budget of each state's electricity generation sector to 10% below their 2009 allowances by 2018. The state of California enacted the first comprehensive state-level climate action plan with its 2009 California Climate Adaptation Strategy. California's electrical grid has been impacted by the increased fire risks associated with climate change. In the 2019 red flag warning about the possibility of wildfires declared in some areas of California, the electricity company Pacific Gas and Electric PG&E was required to shut down power to prevent inflammation of trees that touched the electricity lines. Millions were impacted. If you have any additional comments, please leave them below the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.